What is up, you guys? The Fallout with here, and today I'm going to be doing the what if of Deku being the Ghost Rider in the RWBY universe. Now, I don't know why. I'm going to see if something's wrong with the YouTube thing, but I've tried to download a couple of the videos twice. Actually, one of them was supposed to be what if Deku. Well, what if Deku was in the, which one was it again? I forgot which video I was supposed to do, but I know one of the other ones was what if Deku was in the, RWBY universe, and I did do that. I don't know why, so I'm going to do it right again from scratch, even better than I did before. Let's see. I'm going to spend at least 3 minutes. So, if you guys want to, just skip ahead, but if you want to listen to it, you know, I'm going to be doing, let's see, a couple of other videos and having different ideas. I'm going to do another, like, which anime character will go into the RWBY universe. I don't know yet what I'm going to choose, so I have a couple of suggestions. What if Baki was in the universe? What if Naruto was in the RWBY universe? What if... not Goku, because I know Goku would be overpowered. What if Issei was in the universe of RWBY? And... I don't think there's anyone else that I was gonna focus on. And not only that, there's a couple of other ones I'm going to see if I can do some Naruto what-ifs. And depending on which one I'm going to choose, I did think about doing one about what if Naruto was a Hyuga? Or what if Naruto had the Sharingan and the Byakugan? Or a personal favorite that me and Diomedes Rouge were talking about. Actually, it was supposed to be like a collaboration, like a long time ago with me, Lasto, Diomedes, and I think Loki Uchiha. We were going to do something like that, so I'm gonna go with Dio's, what if Deku was, what if Naruto was War, or the reincarnation of War, or what if, something like that. But hopefully I'll find this out. But now it's time for the RWBY one. Now, where we last left off, RWBY saw Jaune and Pierre on the ground, and she got so sad that she used her ability, which she doesn't know, and which technically I do not know because I haven't watched the whole other series. Because I got to season 4, I want to get to season 5 soon, but I'm gonna have to wait for that because I need the money to buy the seasons because it's not for free. So it's gonna be stopped at this season 4, which I'm going to do the whole thing, which is going to be interesting. But anyway, Pyra, Jaune, RWBY, not Deku. Let's see. I forgot what her name was right now. Oh yeah, Norma and Rin. Basically, all three, Juniper, they're going to be fighting against, they're going to be fighting against, the, Grim. Now, with Jaune there, with, his rider form, he's still strong. Pyra, on the other hand, she is still not 100% herself yet. She does, however, have a connection with Jaune. Jaune doesn't remember about the whole kiss thing that I talked about last time. So they're going to be well, Pyra's gonna be all lovey-dovey, while Jaune is still someone who doesn't understand yet. But why is Pyra alive? You guys probably don't remember in the last time. Well, it's because Pyra is only alive because Jaune decided to come back and Deku gave him the Ghost Rider ability, which Jaune becomes... he has this as a sword. That's the Deku thing. And this is his newer form, which he has his armor, bone armor. And I'm going to say right now, it's connected with little pieces of metal on all of his body, due to Pyra decided to give everybody, like in Team Juniper, metal armor, like little bits and pieces there for them to get used to. And Jaune has like the bony parts, but it's encrusted with some metals from Pyra's home family, because without Jaune, Pyra would have died, and the family decided to give like Jaune like a little bit of their blessing, and also their blessing, because Pyra kind of, you know, Pyra's mom, she knew what she knew that Pyra was gonna, you know, fall in love with Jaune. Or she knew due to the fact that how she acted. And also, this is the Ghost Rider ability, which is also combined with the metal of the locker. And if you guys see right there where the eyes are at, I decided that it would look like that. I didn't draw this, but because of the eyes looking like how the locker that Jaune saw through, it kind of reminded me of that, and I said, you know what, that would be awesome. The sword would turn into like fire, like something so hot, but something so fiery that it will turn into a blue. Give me a second here, people. Okay. So his basically the sword will turn bright blue due to the fire, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, the whole thing with you know, they're going to still do their own thing, but Jaune is gonna still is actually playing more offensively, and he isn't as scared. He isn't as like childish, because the one thing he did know was that because of his weakness of being kind of scared, and not only that, always somewhat losing, he trains much more harder. And not only that, but because Pyra, because he saved Pyra, he now knows that he is the leader and that he has to protect them at all cost. Whether or not he likes it, he knows that he's gonna be the one to protect them. He doesn't want to something like that to happen. Somebody almost dying, and it could have next time he fights, it probably could be that the person dies. But either way, that's for another that's for a little bit, well, for a while. But you know, Blake goes to her parents. Weiss goes back to the goes with their family, and Deku is kind of saddened. If I'm breathing a little too heavy, it's because I have breathing issues still, so I apologize on that. But anyway, Deku is going to see see the family, well, not the family, but you know, he sees his stepfather, I guess you would call him, but to him it's his father. He taught them how to fight, and Deku says, "All right, why don't you train with me, Dad?" And the father says, "Oh, you wouldn't want to train with me. There has to be someone that, you know, you like training that doesn't use hand to hand." And this is when Deku says, "I want to try a little bit of that." And this is when the father says, "Really?" He's kind of enthusiastic because Deku pretty much just does this whole like he takes the hits, and he also uses the whip, and he also technically uses the chain whip, and also he also uses an axe. shotgun. So yeah, he wants to actually learn how to do like jumping around and also doing high kicks and all that stuff. So this is when he starts teaching Deku how to fight. An actual hand-to-hand combat. He starts punching and kicking. He does this for a little while. And this is when he sees Yang, which Yang is actually not as depressed as she was in canon. Because since Deku is there, he's made her life much more easier. She protected him a little bit more while he was young. So Deku would look at her and says, "How you doing, Yang? Are you gonna, play with us now?" This is when Yang still doesn't know what to do because her arm, she feels kind of useless. And this is when Deku starts to go and, well, he starts doing a lot of things. Such as going to where the present that, the father gave her. Since they trained up to a week, she would eventually get the arm thing. And since Deku knows that she doesn't know what to do because she still has that weird dream, it's kind of soothed over the fact that Deku's there. Deku protects them. Deku is strong. And Deku, he's, how do I say this? He's going to trick out the new arm that she was given. Actually, upgrading it a bit with, Ghost Rider technology. He's actually molding it a bit. And the father says, Deku, or Ghost Rider, whatever you want to call it, you put that arm down right now, mister. Oh, no. Last time you decided to, well, a little bit of backstory with Deku and modifications. He actually tripped off the old house. He tricked out the old house once by, well, making the TV have a personality. Well, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, he also made the freaking sink do things that the father didn't know the thing can do. It can pretty much destroy foods. But not only that, it also has hot water scalding. So it's not like the best thing that Deku's done. And, the father says, don't get me started with the toaster. And the oven was a nightmare on itself. And Deku says, relax, father, relax. I am very sorry. I did not mean to do all that. Well, the toaster, did make bread, toast. And the father says, well, yeah, but it also made, charcoal, fire just bursting out anytime we get close to it as like a warning. Oh yeah, did I also mention that the freaking, when you put bread there, there's basically a 99% chance that it will usually just turn into ash. Nobody thought about this, and Deku just thought, hey, why not just modify everything? This was like after Yang versed Deku with the writing. So yeah, that's when. So now everything else goes up to canon, but Deku tricks up the arm to actually give it a new appearance, and this is what it's gonna look like. Give me a second here. All right, this is what it will look like. It's not the best, but I found it it was a while since I found this, and I decided the way it looks, if it looked much more futuristic, put your brain into this, and you guys would see it, or this one here. Or it's gonna look So it's gonna look like this. I would have gone with the whole Issei route and his whole arm, but nah. It's gonna look like this or either this, and I'm thinking more like this because it's more of an armor, and this looks like a freaking arm that Grim would have. So either way, Deku is gonna make her arm stronger and better, and make it to where it's not actually, where it's technically a robotic arm, but now she can feel that arm. Now she doesn't have to, how do I say it? Now she doesn't have to feel like she's lost something of herself, because Deku technically did something that, you know, you know what, I'm gonna say it like this. What he did was bring the arm that she had, fuse it with the armor, or the robotic arm, and now she has an arm that's stronger, better, and would take a lot more. Would take a hell of a lot more. Get it? Pun? Hell? Anyway, idiot. Anyway, it would take more attacks to make it break. It's not 100% better than anything else, but it's something to where she doesn't have to feel like she's lost it. Alright, so I feel like either A or B, whatever you guys want to choose, it's gonna still be the same way in canon, just the look. Anyway, so while that's happening, Yang pretty much, you know, she likes him, and she's starting to like love him, but this, it actually makes it to where it's more better for her. She has more love for him. And, you know, Deku has technically talked about other women, but, you know, like I said, it's gonna be a harem, so she's gonna have to be okay with it. And not only that, the father's all like, that's not technically my child, but I'm happy for him. He's making women love him already. Oh, gosh. I wish your mother, both mothers were here. Oh, man. Speaking of which, Crow actually talks to the mom of, well, you know, Yang, and it still goes as in canon. So it's not different at all, except for the fact that Crow is gonna be more protective of, you know, Yang, or Yang and Ruby, because now that Deku's there, it's technically like he has to protect them, all three of them, even though that all three of them are actually strong, or stronger than they were in canon. Oh boy. So, Deku talked about where's Blake at, and she says that Blake is gone. They don't know where she's at, but it's more of a possibility that she might go to her parents. And her parents technically live on that weird island, which is the only thing I can ever think of, you know, being there, since Yang doesn't know where else Blake would go. But then Deku heard about Weiss, and how she's going to be, Weiss is going to be with the family, and the family isn't going to let her go. And Deku is a little mad right there, talking about that she was sad about, you know, Weiss not being able to see them. And Deku talks about what about the family and how they feel, how do they feel? And they're like, oh, this is all the father's decision. And Deku was like, well, shouldn't we give some, you know, hope? Sorry. Shouldn't we hope that, you know, Weiss is going to be okay since she's with her father and mother? She talks about how the father and mother, how the father, at least, as far as I know, she doesn't like him at all. It's not her real father. I believe it's not her real father. I don't think that they're actually, like, related. I'm wondering, are they related at all? Because they said that they married into he married into this family. Yeah, it's her father and all that stuff. And Jackie was like, so why did she go on her own, knowing that she's strong? Why says she? Yang says she doesn't know. And this is when Deku says, we gotta make a couple of trips. Deku is just on his bike, and he says, I'll be back, or, you do your thing, but I gotta go after her. And Deku is just on his, is just riding, and he's starting to just turn his bike into the hell cycle. And this is when he just, like, rides out. Now, Deku is just, how do I say it? Deku is pretty much just, riding there. And it takes takes, like, probably a week or so. Now, while the whole thing of Deku riding is cool, we're gonna skip to the whole, Weiss situation. She fights with the father. And she goes and, does the thing. In a couple of days, she's going to have to, like, sing. And that's pretty much it, Same thing in the story. So it's pretty much jumping to canon. And also with Blake and, Wukong. And let's see. Ruby, Jaune, and the others, they fight the Scorpion. But with Jaune having the rider abilities and Pyra there actually protecting them with her using her abilities, it's pretty much, evened out. Jaune is fighting with him, and he does get stabbed a couple of times, but with him turning into the rider himself, he's not actually faring well. He even gets it to the point where Ruby still shoots at the scorpion tail, and Jaune is about to slash at him, but Exu! I'm so sorry here, people. I didn't mean. Oh God! Oh man, I'm so sorry. Golly, that hurts the throat. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh man, I have a headache. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, my head hurts. I'm sorry here, people. I didn't mean to do all that, but okay. So, where was I? Oh yes, the whole scorpion tail gets destroyed, and Jaune is about to cut him until I forgot what's his face. Hold on here. Okay. Sorry about that. Just had to help heal myself a bit. But anyway, Jaune, like I said, does the thing. The scorpion dude is gone, and well, what's his face? I forgot what his face was. Or did I get the whole story mixed up? No. The whole story isn't mixed up yet. Not that I know of. The five basically are just fighting, and with Crow being actually okay, with him actually not getting stung, because Jaune is there with the Ghost Rider form. He kind of was cautious at first because, Jaune is Jaune. He does believe in his innate ability, and it was because Jaune wasn't actually going to give up. He was actually just being patient, and it was because he was, being a better fighter. That's when, Crow was like, you know what, I'm not going to help him out. I think he's going to do well on his own against the Scorpion dude, which I kind of forgot his name, but, as far as I know, in Season 5, he's not important. If, in Season 4, he's not important. If I find out what's going to happen next and he is important, I'll say his name, but, it's not important to me right now. So, Jaune and the others go and fight that weird Wendigo Rider. I don't know if it is a Wendigo Rider, but it looks so weird. Deku does, he does start to fight Jaune, Ren, and Nora, and, what's her face? Pyra, Ruby. They're all fighting. Plus, with Crow there, it's even easier for them to fight. Jaune is kind of like the new main character, like the new character that's like kind of important now. Because now with his help, it's actually easier for them to fight. He actually snaps Crow out of it, giving him his weapons, and Jaune actually picks up a new technique. He does this weird thing to where he pretty much starts swinging it, and when the creature tries to come in front of it, it pretty much just cuts it off, or pretty much blocks it, which is a weird infinity attack where he swings his hand like a reverse 8 or a sideways 8 and just starts doing it like that. Jaune is actually doing pretty well, especially with the Rider form. And I'm not going to just give him the rocket because me and Dio, we were talking about it a while back. And, we're going to give him a cycler. He's going to also use a motorcycle, which actually has an insignia of a horse. And this is when Jaune also fights, he keeps fighting off the creature, and Ren does the whole thing as in canon. But with it, everybody's okay, and not only that, they're getting picked up to actually, go to their destination faster. Now, the whole thing with Deku and Weiss becoming a new couple. Deku rides as in canon. Not as in canon. Weiss does the whole thing as in canon. But this time, Weiss is there. She does the whole thing. The pig is there, and the boar actually, and almost attacks the rich lady. But Deku, instead of Ironwood, fights it and destroys the creature. And Deku is there, saying, Weiss, it's kind of upsetting that, you would try to hurt somebody. I understand that you're angry, but I understand that you are angry, but I know this isn't you. So, I'm going to ask you just this once. Please calm down. There's no reason to fight. This is when Weiss sees Deku, and she's happy. She's very happy to see him. She hugs him, and she is kind of confused, but the one thing right now she needed was somebody that she knew. Somebody that would help her. And that would be the person she likes. Now, with everything going as planned, Deku says, I'm here to take you back. The others are waiting for you. We're trying to find Blake. And after that, we're going to be back together again. Weiss is so happy. And this is when she's about to just kiss him. Because, Deku has that certain charm. Which I gave him. So, it has to be 100% good. At least 100% good. But this is when the father says, what are you doing here, and who are you? And Deku says, oh, I forgot. Where's my manners? My name is Izuku Castle. Pleasure to meet you. And this is when the father says, I see. You're that person in the tournament. And technically, he also saw Deku protecting the civilians as the Ghost Rider. And this is when the father says, well, as I'm glad that you saved my daughter, I will have to ask you to leave. Weiss will be staying here for a very long time. Seeing as everything that happened, she must have been frightened. And Deku says, well, now that you mention it, Weiss, were you frightened this whole time? And this is when Weiss says, I kind of was, but the father says, exactly, she was frightened. This poor child risked her, and Deku just shoots a gun in the air. Just says, I don't like it when people bother me, but I certainly do not like it when they interrupt me. Now, what were you gonna finish your sentence, Weiss? She says, but I knew what I had to do, and I'm going to remain as a huntress. Nobody's gonna take that away from me. And this is when the father says, clearly she must be joking right now. And basically Izuku says, one more out of you. One more word out of you, dang it. Oh gosh. Is your whole family annoying like this? Yeah, well, I could see your sister being a good person. The rest, I don't know yet. This is when the brother decides to chime in, calling him a buffoon, a barbarian. And this is when he says, hey, punk. And Deku says, oh, you did not just call me that. I know the little pipsqueak right here did not just call me a punk. This is when the son just grabs a sword and just jabs it at Deku, causing him to be pushed back. And this is when Deku just says, that's gonna leave a mark. He gets on the ground and he says, you know what? You may be family. And he pulls his belt. and he uses his Ghost Rider abilities and turns into the Ghost Rider and says, you're really gonna feel this, kid. It's time for your punishment. And just starts marching his way until he says, you know what? I have an idea. I'll fight you. And this is when he says, I thought only a barbarian is, I only thought barbarians were gonna fight. And this is when the father says, you know what? That's a good idea, son. You will fight him. Because I know that this kid doesn't understand it. But since me and you will be fighting him. And this is when Deku says, alright, it's not so hard. And this is when he also says, but you will not use your Ghost Rider abilities. You will not use that whatsoever. And Deku says, ah, crap. Alright. It was much more easier just fighting them. Well, at least I can work off a sweat and call this training. You. What is your name? I'm not going to give you my name. Not only that, I forgot his name. Weiss's brother is not as loved as I thought he would be. So I kind of forgot it once I found out that he was a total jerk. Not only that, I also forgot the father's name because of the same reason. The rwby characters that are jerks, I just don't remember their names. I just don't like it. But the brother and the father go attack Deku. First of all, the son has an inept ability to actually create, ice make abilities, while the father has the ability to shoot. His ability is way different. He can only shoot weapons. He can only use like ranged weapons, but he's really good, and he also has how do I say this? He has the ability to have a better perception. So yeah, I'll give him that much. But this is when they attack Deku, and the sun basically keeps making these ice sculptures, and Deku is trying to fight back. He's trying to use his abilities, but it's only ice abilities that he has. And this is when Deku says, how do I fight things when I can't even use my fire? And this is when Deku realizes that he has abilities of his own. He kept relying a little bit too much on the Ghost Rider. And the Rider says, I will always be with you. But if you want to show them how to fight, or how we usually take things down, we gotta work together. They're working together, so we do the same. And Deku says, I won't use my abilities though. And the Rider says, I will not let you use the abilities, because I understand how this is gonna work. We beat them at their own game. And Deku says, I'm listening here, pal. And this is when he tells him to use his weapons. His weapons. And Deku says, fine. Deku grabbing his sword and his shield. Not his sword and his shield. He grabs two freaking, what is it called? Basically a shotgun axe. And he just starts running. And Deku just slides under the creatures and just starts shooting them. And pretty much bashing them on their freaking ice skulls. This is when the sun just keeps making more, and the father just keeps shooting at him. Deku is trying to block and all, but he doesn't have armor like Jaune. He doesn't have agility like super agility like any of the other character does. But Deku does have something, and that is knowledge and ideas of how to fight. This is when he grabs his chain and he starts constructing so much ice into this onto the other part of the chain, and he just starts swinging it now, and actually just throwing it towards the freaking sun, causing him to make another ice sculpture. And this is when he starts doing it again and again and again and again. He's also trying to hit the father too. But Deku just keeps going at this. And he pretty much just swings, throwing at them. And once Deku pretty much throws it at them, he just starts running towards the sun. And this is when he just uses his ice, covering it on one of his arms. He just pretty much slams it onto the ground, causing a bit of a crater, and causing the ice to basically explode. Calling it, well, it's not really something that can be called, but if I were to give a name to it, it would just be Ice Punch. There we go. Very original here. I know, I'm too good. Idiots. So anyway, Deku pretty much slaps the brother on the face, causing him to actually just be in a daze for a while. And then after that, Deku pretty much grabs his whip, wrapping it around the father's legs, and starts chaining him up, saying that you've been a thorn in my side. And he's actually thinking about shooting him. But then after that, he just says, ah! And just roars. And this is when the father is kind of scared. And this is when basically everybody just sees how bad that these two lost to just one person who couldn't even use his fire. And not only that, he beated two Schnees. Technically one Schnee and then one father. At their own game. Not only that, with the element that they're technically known for. As much as I know. So this is actually kind of a revelation. Deku is like kind of tired, and says, this is why I just like using the Ghost Rider's ability, because his is not complicated. Not only that, this could have been a lot less harder on me. But because Deku also learned hand-to-hand combat, he knows how to dodge now. At least better than he did in the other ones. He just took the hit. He was literally a fiery walking tank with bones. So this is actually a much more better thing for him than he was in Kent, or than just him, you know, taking the hits, because he probably would have just been on the ground wheezing and coughing. This is when Deku says, alright, let's go. And the father says, guards, take him away. And this is when Deku says, oh, I knew you were going to do this. I expected a common coward like you to actually do this. And this is when he just turns into his rider form and just starts laughing, grabbing the chain and just starts making a portal, making it seem that it's going to hell and people are actually scared. Ironwood says, you know what, I'm not going to handle this, because I know I'm going to die if I think about, you know, taking Weiss away from him. And this is when they just start running, and Deku just says, grab my hand. And they fall. Once they get out of the, once Deku breaks the ice with Weiss, technically, you know, them going, they just jump out of the window, and she sees Deku with the moon right behind him, causing his eyes to glow. He says that, I will protect you all, as far as I can, but I'm going to make sure the people I truly care about don't suffer just because of their families being truly garbage. And then Weiss just basically kisses him and says, he says it in his mind, this is the best thing, but right now he's got to, you know, call his ride. So they're pretty much done right now. And they're riding back. Well, technically, they're actually going to take the boat, or not the boat, but the air carriage. And Deku, with his, you know, ability to make it turn into a rider, he technically makes it into a warship with cannons. So Weiss actually talks to him and confesses, saying that she actually loves him. She feels so connected to him. And Deku says, I think I heard this line before. And then he says that, oh yeah, I forgot that. Somebody already confessed to me as well. And Weiss says, who is it? And Deku says, oh boy. Look, it's not that big of a deal. And then she just comes towards his face, like, goes towards his face much more closely, and is like, who is it? And Deku just kind of breaks and says, it was Yang. It was Yang that said it. And she says, oh, she's trying to take you away from me. Oh, I'll make sure, I'll slap some sense into her. And he says, I accepted it. And she says, why would you accept it? And Deku says, well, because I love all of you. And Deku just pretty much confesses to he pretty much told, like, Weiss that he confessed to everybody. He's going to confess to everybody. And she says, well, as much as I don't like it, I guess since it is for you, and not only that, since you took me away from the place I didn't want to go to, and especially from the people I didn't want to meet, and I didn't want to see, you know, I pretty much, I have no right to say anything. But she also says, that doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Being with her friends, technically one day co-wives, and having a husband that's also the Ghost Rider. Yeah, I could see it right now. But anyway, I think I left it off on a good note, and hopefully you guys like it too. And like I said it once, I'll say it again. I hope you liked the video. Do like and comment. Subscribe if you want to. But anyway, I gotta do more videos right now. And hopefully they'll be back on soon. This has been the Fallout Revere. Bye.